Good morning, folks. It's 5:30 a.m. and I'm down here at John Lawson Park, ready for our Monday morning 5K run. But we're doing it a little bit later, so I thought I'll make a video. Stan's on his way. Check it out. It's another one of those beautiful mornings. It looks like it might be cloudy today. It's kind of partly cloudy. It's not warm. I was watching the weather report. It said that it's going to get colder again this week and weekend. So, you know. Oh, wow. I don't know if you can see that. There's a cruise ship that's just come in, and there's a cruise ship that's just come in. Darn it. We just missed two big cruise ships going by. It's always so cool when they come through. It's so majestic. Anyway. So, further, how are things in Vancouver? Well, awesome, I must say. It's like the weather, even though, as I just said, it might be getting a little bit cooler again, it's starting to be just nice. Oh, there's another cruise ship coming through. Hope you guys can see it. It's amazing how much better things look in real life than on camera. So, sorry, man. They should really make like an eye camera. Maybe one day. Anyway, yeah, so although the weather is still, I guess, gonna, you know, we still have a bit of a cool period, this is actually an amazing time of the year. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. Oh, ducklings! Oh man, I wish I could zoom in. I can, but not much. Check, little ducklings there, going into the sound. How cool is that? Anyway, it's such a beautiful time of the year, really. The temperature is lekker, it's nice and cool, it's not too hot. We have the sunny days. That is so cool. And there's the mommy ducks, duck parents and their little ducklings. Ducklings everywhere these days. Wow, amazing. And for the rest, things are good. We are, you know, working really hard. Interesting, some new economic data came out from Canada yesterday, and Canada added 90,000 jobs, which sounds like a really good thing, but in the end it's actually a really bad thing, because that means that the Bank of Canada is going to keep interest rates higher for longer. And by keeping interest rates higher for longer, the Bank of Canada is actually, yeah, it's weird. More jobs added to the economy and more people are going to be in trouble. So they say that currently, an interesting fact, commercial construction insolvencies. So in other words, commercial construction companies, the guys that's supposed to build the houses and properties and apartments that that everybody that comes here needs to live in, is at an all-time high. So a lot of those people are going bankrupt because, yeah, it's just this weird situation. Very much government inflicted, honestly. So what's happening is the government are charging. You've got the high interest rates. Well, we understand why we need the high interest rates. We need to bring down the inflation rate. But the inflation rate's not going to come down while government keeps on printing money and increasing the spend and the budget and the deficit and all of that. So what they're doing is they're printing more money, adding money in the deficit, throwing it at the you know, throwing money at the problem, and the money that they're throwing at the problem is actually exacerbating the problem. So it's just making it worse. So yeah, it's like, look, I'm glad I'm not an economist or a politician, honestly, because like people expect so many things, and you can't just take the hit and go, sorry boys, now we just got to take a hit. Of course, the other big problem is the fact that government charges so much taxes and fees on commercial property development that even though property prices are at their highest, these guys still don't make money. They actually lose money. with the interest rate, you know, the small little difference in the interest, well, not small little difference, the difference in the interest rate in their repayments that's going up, they just can't afford to service the construction debt. Like I said last time, I think they said something like more than 30% of the cost of building a new property are all government-related taxes. It is absolutely crazy. Government-related fees and taxes that the construction industry has to lay out up front. But all of these things does sort themselves out. That's the beautiful thing about the world. It balances itself out, you know. Just like supply and demand balances prices, so everything else balances out. Next year, there's going to be, the sad thing is that unfortunately oftentimes some people need to take a bit of hurt in order for others or for everything to get itself righted again. And I think the guys that are going to take a beating soon is they were saying that people that bought houses in 2021 and 2022 at the peak of the market are the most likely to actually, I think these guys are looking like at a 65 to 70% increase in their mortgage payments when they renew, even with a few interest rates priced in. Now, can you imagine that? That's a big jump in your interest, man. That's like a big jump in your monthly payment. Imagine you were paying 10,000 or these houses, 2 million, whatever. You were paying $8,000 a month on your house, and now suddenly it's almost, gone up by 60%. So what's that? If you were on 10, you're now 16. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Anyway, that cruise ship is coming in, right? Just very slow, but it is. It is so peaceful out here. Anyway, another quick update on the diet. So, been keeping to it. 0 added sugar to anything. It's a lot harder than you would think to actually get stuff that doesn't have sugar or carbs in. So we've kind of accepted that we are doing a very low carb, you know, so we eat like cauliflower a little bit and here and there something, but I mean, it's almost impossible to find anything that doesn't have sugar added to it. It's ridiculous. We were, I don't know, it's like yesterday and today I'm feeling a little bit weird. It's almost like I felt very energetic last week when we started this thing with a fast and then sticking to the no sugar and everything. I kind of really did feel like I had more energy and things were going better. But yesterday and today I started feeling a little bit of less energy. Almost a little bit, I don't know how to describe it. Not feeling great. So it could be the diet. It could also just be other stresses. We have a load of bills that need to come through in the business this month, in this week actually, that I need to figure out how to settle. A bunch of print bills and stuff. So it's all moving money around, and month end is coming again. So it could just be other stuff as well. But anyway, so not feeling as good as I normally do, or as I expected to. How would I put it? Anyway, so, but it is, here I am, 5:30 in the morning. We're going to do the 5K run. And see how that goes. The runs have started going a little bit worse. Well, I mean, we haven't run, like at the peak of it, we were doing 5Ks in 32 minutes. Now we're down to 37 minutes again because the road is long and that last little bit up the hill is very, very steep. But we are moving it down. The previous one was 38, the last one was 37, so yes, I'll suppose we're moving in the right direction. As for the weight, I've been stable at 109 kilos for the past week. Haven't gone up, haven't gone down, 108.9, 109. It's just been sitting around there. So it seems like I've hit a little bit of a ceiling there. I need to try and figure out. I'm hoping that this 5K run will help me break through that ceiling. We're still doing the intermittent fasting as well. So yeah, see if that actually helps and breaks us through. Well, the cruise ship is coming in, but it's coming in very slow and I need to go and run. In 10 minutes, Stan will be here. So let's hope this is going to be a beautiful week in Vancouver. Something I have learned though, you know, you've got stuff that stresses you out and problems and things like that. I mean, that's what life is all about. It's about wading through all of the crap that gets thrown at you. But there's also a lot of fun things that get thrown at you. And of course, the other thing is, a lot of the not so cool things, they all sort themselves out. You just gotta like be positive and hang in there. It sorts itself out. So that's why I don't stress too much about things. Well, I try not to. I check that. Oh man, I wish you guys could see it better. That cruise ship is busy docking over there and that one is heading on that way. And this one is still coming in. One thing I can say though, since I've started getting out again and like doing the early mornings at the beach, I do feel like it's got a positive influence. I do feel like it's helping me out. I'm starting to get a little bit more productive. I'm trying to get the monkeys off my back, as they say. You know those monkeys, those things that you kind of got to do and you don't do it, so then it just becomes a little bit more work, and then you don't do it and it becomes a little bit more work, and it just becomes this giant problem that you don't solve, and it just, the longer it sits there, the bigger it becomes, and the bigger it becomes, the less you feel like dealing with it. Yeah. So I got a bunch of those. And I have started dealing with them now. You know, just get those monkeys off your back and move forward. That's the important bit, I think. Lots of people out at 6 a.m. on a Monday morning. Amazing. Yeah, so I guess that's one of the things that we need to do. This week is a big drive. One of the things that I need to, one of those monkeys on my back is the South African shop. I mean, we started it and we had a great idea, but I suppose we should have done a little bit more research, because initially the idea was like, set it all up, build it and they will come. And it's great. But the problem that we have is that we don't have biltong and drivels to sell, you know, two of the main things that South Africans buy from South Africa. So we've got some stuff online, we've got the flings and the, you know, all of the other stuff, or a large part of the other stuff, and we're selling it at very good prices compared to everybody else. But the thing is, people still want to order their biltong as well. So if they can't order the biltong from you, then they rather drive to the shop, or they order from online from somebody that does have biltong. So that's a problem. And then of course the other thing is, you know, one of the big problems we're sitting with at the South African shop is that all of our stock comes from South Africa. So now if you think about it, that, you know, box of Oma biscuit gets loaded on a ship, it gets made in South Africa, they have a best before date printed on it, and then it gets shipped to Canada. First, it gets made in South Africa, it gets collected there, goes to a shipping company, it gets packed, then it gets stuck into a ship. The ship sits on the water for up to 3 months, sometimes 2 months before it finally gets here, because I don't think it's just, I don't know, it takes very long. It's not just a direct load it and make a beeline for Vancouver. It's one of those that stop all along the way. So you have all of the stock that eventually arrives here in Canada, and then I buy the box of stock. By the time I get it, it's already halfway past, on its way to its best before date. And then if we don't sell it very quickly in a couple of months, then it hits its best before date, and we end up with, you know, we just end up with the stock sitting in our stock room, which is not ideal, because theoretically you can't sell it. I mean, so then what we do is we need to give it away to friends, we need to eat it ourselves, and some of it we need to throw away, which isn't ideal. So I'm starting to understand why a lot of the South African stores are charging such a high price for the South African goodies, because you got like a big, you know, you got like a big loss. There's a large number of them that you kind of have to do away with. Although the stupidity around it, I mean, what do you think is the expiry date of a good old Oma biscuit? It's like, okay, it's its best before date, but there's not much that can happen to it. It's just, yeah, anyway. But it is what it is, unfortunately. So we're going to have to rethink that one and figure out how to make it work. Anyway, I think I'll put that not on this week's playlist, but on the week after. This week I first need to deal with another issue. We have a bunch of websites for the business, and I have a bunch of websites that are all listed. It was all on one server, and it's been sitting on that server for years, but these guys have now just quadrupled their prices, and the service has really gone down. So I've moved it all, I'm moving it all to Amazon Web, AWS, and can you imagine? Man, I can't tell you how freaking stupidly hard it is to get it all done. So it's just this, like, it's this technical work, and you would think that they all work the same. It's really easy, you just transfer it. No, not nearly. So I've been busy converting and moving the websites, and I've got my buddy Sol out in Brazil that always helps me with the tech stuff, the coding and the back-end stuff. Although, I mean, I'm kind of a jack of all trades. I can do a lot of things, but you know, sometimes I need a bit of help. Now the problem is Sol just got another contract that's keeping him very busy, so now I move the stuff and then there's a database error, and then I'm like, oh crap, now I can't do it. I need to find Sol, and then I need to wait a couple of days for Sol to fix it. So it is one of those, but that's another one that I'm going to get off of my back this week. Get all of those websites moved, get the other one shut down, the old server, because currently we're now paying for 2 servers, which is obviously not ideal. Last week I managed to sort out shipping issues that we had with Innovate New Jersey. And next week at some stage, Innovate Women of the Future books are going to arrive here. Then I need to start shipping those out. And then I'm done with shipping for a little bit. Won't that be nice? I've still got a bunch of NFT yearbooks that I need to bring from China to here and do some final shipping on that as well. We're getting there. All right, this cruise ship is coming closer, but he's cutting it tight because I need to go right now to go and do my run with Stan. Man, I must actually come out here one morning a little bit earlier and come and get all the cruise ships, because it is so cool when they come through. I want to go on a cruise ship. Must check at these cruises. Alaska cruises. Summer Alaska cruise. That sounds like a fun thing to do. Anyway, folks, I'm going to run. We are not going to be able to see this cruise ship You all must have an absolutely beautiful day and an absolutely beautiful week. I hope things turn out swell for you all. Cheers.